Okay, well, I am ready for another week of programming work. Oof, boy, this chair needs to be replaced soon. All right. I had a really nice weekend. I hope anyone who tunes in at any point also had the same. And saw a few new followers a couple days ago. Unlikely that you're here live, but that is totally fine. Any new followers that I get, if it's not live, I mean, that's all fine, right? But I just want to say thanks in general to anyone who does give the channel a follow. That's always exciting for me. I want to keep that number growing. And if you watch but haven't followed, or you do follow but know someone who might enjoy it, who hasn't heard of this, which is very likely, consider sharing and following and all that kind of stuff. That's all I gotta say in terms of promoting the channel. I am gonna keep working on the svg-clj library. It's a little bit old hat. I mean, I've been working on it for the past 2 weeks on my streams, but that's just, what it takes sometimes. You want to get code working and set up nicely. It just takes a bit of time and focus. So that's what I'm here for, hopefully, anyway. And every day I'm more and more excited about the progress I'm making on my library, and that makes me really happy. So that's all I got. Just gonna hop right into it. Gotta clean up my desk a little bit, as is always the case. Let's zip on over here and switch this to the scene and get things going. Okay. So what is up with everything? Well, permit me 1 second and I will explain where I'm at with things. Okay. So on the screen here is a kind of weird looking image. It's a different project, but it's useful for testing that I'm porting my transformation code over successfully, and so far I'm not. So today is making little test cases and figuring out what is and isn't working, and just kind of going from there. So first thing I guess I want to say is I added a certain shape feature that I have until the weekend hadn't actually even considered adding in, but it makes a lot of sense, and I'll show that right now for a second. If I go into shapes here, I have a new shape tag image, because it turns out that here we go, Svg Image Tag. You can put raster images inside SVG using an image tag, and turns out that's really quite useful for certain setups in my SVG library here. So this is not, that's not what I'm thinking about here. This is different. Here we go, is what I meant to click. Right, it's very simple. There's this image tag. It's got a hypertext reference, X and a Y, which are its position, and then it's got a height and width. And it does not, I've only done minimal testing on its properties and stuff, but it keeps the ratio of the width and height the same as what the original image is. So if you want to control, it's basically max width, max height kind of thing. So whichever one is smaller will be the limiting factor in how the image is displayed. And these are positional arguments. So anyway, the point is you can apply translates and rotates and stuff like that to this image tag in SVG. So I stubbed in some basic things. The same translations and stuff that work for rectangles should theoretically work for images, but I'm not sure that it's working properly yet. So today is working on that, as well as just checking, basic rotate and translate for all of these shapes. So that's the whole idea. So I'm trying to think about a nice simple way to do this. And I suppose let's just go pop this in the Scratch for now. Put a little thing here, manual testing, convert these snippets into proper tests. So basically all that'll mean, so I'm gonna def a few test things here and kind of just evaluate them in the REPL, and then I can convert it into tests at off stream or whenever I actually feel like I should get to it. I always put it off because it's always a little bit boring, but you know what, maybe I'm compelled to do it on stream tomorrow or something like that, but we'll see. The reason I don't want to dedicate a ton of time to making the tests up front is I'm pretty sure I'm going to run into problems on some of the first things I do, and I want to try and debug those right away. So that's where I want to put my brain power, basically. Okay, so let's def. Oh, first of all, let me paste these here as a simple example. Let's def test circle. I'm not sure if that's a good name, but I think it's fine. Radius of 5, def test ellipse. Ellipse is 510. The dimensions that I'm testing don't matter. I just am testing that they emit valid results here. Is test? Oh, I do have test in the namespace. Maybe it is a good idea to use that. You know what? I may as well. Let's finish creating the definitions of the basic shapes, and then I'll make a set of basic tests for that, and then just run the tests. Easy enough. Okay, so that's how you run them. Let's make one. How about that? How did I test as test, refer def test, and is. Okay, so some very basic things. Okay, test line is a line from 0, 0 to 10, 20. Okay. Test path. Ooh, this one's gonna be. How should I do this one? Because I haven't actually. I have not yet produced something that nicely makes. Let me address that particular problem right now. I have to go into path DSL here, and I want to make a Polygon Path implementation that will convert a list of points into a polygon using the path string syntax. So in order to do that, I need to rework this bit because this is actually all old. So let me split that right away. Old Polygon Path to be deleted, basically. Nothing crazy about that. So the Polygon Path function is a way to create valid path strings from a set of points. The idea is that any call to the polygon function can be replaced with polygon path, and no visual difference would occur. Then paths can be further manipulated by combine, join, merge, that sort of thing, which is only valid in paths. Okay. Combine and merge. Merge, there we go. Okay. Let me see what is up. Oop. The whole tracking my hours and my time and stuff like that is, it's important, but I always forget to start timers when I need to, or I don't stop them when I should. Ugh. It's a mild pain in the butt. But trying to control my work time a little bit, and so tracking it, at least in a basic sense, is kind of important. So that's my plight. Whoops. All right, let me get into this. Where was I? Oh yes, I was making a Polygon Path function. So basically convert list of points into list of commands. First command will be a move command. Is that correct? Let's think about that for a second. Yes, it will be, because that's where you start. That's how you start. Yeah. First command will be a move command. Last command will be a close command. And then can generalize this to polyline by having a close flag if I want to. I don't know if that's strictly necessary. I mean, I guess it is, but we'll start with just this define polygon path. Okay, it takes points. Right, so then let just trying to think about point to command. Point to L. Let's just go with that. So that's 1 point, right? Guaranteed. If I take A, is the simple path element that I've got here. Let's do path string to commands of A, right? So the shape of a line command is this right here, right? So all I do need to do is take this map shape and just do vec point, just in case it's not a vector, right? Does that work if I vec 1, 2? Yeah, it does nothing. If I vec list 1, 2, it turns it into a vector, so that looks good. So point to L is this simple thing. It's extremely simple. It just produces the correct or the expected form of the command map that I want. I wonder if that's even worth making a function, or if I should just make it a lambda in here. I don't know. Let's leave it like that for the time being, and we'll even duplicate the idea, L to M, command move, coordinate system. Anytime I generate path things, I do want to just use absolute because it's actually going to be easier. I will need to consider handling relative coordinates at some point. What I might, oh, excuse me, it's tired in here. What I might do is just have some kind of algorithm that converts any relative elements into absolute coordinates. Then I run all of my own stuff, and then I have an optimizer at the end, or a converter that converts it back into relative. I don't know if that's necessary. At least if I keep things absolute for the time being, it's consistent, right? And then I could just say that's part of the library's functionality, that it will implicitly convert any relative stuff to absolute. Maybe that's smart. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. I think probably what I'll do is you can put in absolute or relative stuff into whatever. I run the algorithm to always convert everything to absolute. I run all of the transforms and everything, and spit out at the end, optionally, a path that is converted back to relative. But internally, it's just assumed that everything is going to be absolute. I think that's a reasonable way to go. I think it'll be a little more consistent, and it'll definitely be easier to reason about the transforms if they're always going to be consistent. So I think that's probably going to be my approach. But before then, I have to finish creating this. But that justifies the absolute coordinate here. So if I let A be point to M of first of points, and then how does conj work with a different number of items? Okay, that's not what I want, but that's okay. I'm just trying to think of the simplest way to smush all these things together properly. By the way, what does the closed command look like? Let's command close input nil. If I conj onto a vector, it goes onto the end. It's a little bit messy, but I might just kind of abuse that to just conj a close tag at the end. Let's do open, close, where close is just this map, command, close, chord system, abs, but that's irrelevant, input nil. That's all that is. Extremely easy. Okay, and now here, all I want to do is, let's thread. Should do thread first. Okay, wait. This is gonna kind of read, this is gonna look messy no matter what I do. So let's just, conj on into vector, no, vec, the result of conj map point to L onto rest of points. Okay, and you conj onto that, you conj open. Okay, then you vec that so that close ends up on the end. A little messy. Oops, didn't def this or this. Now let's do that. Oh, come on, what happened? Oh, I typoed. That's what happened. Point to M. What? Oh, did it twice. Like a goose. All right, let's give that a shot. That's also, the function's not done yet because it hasn't produced the, what I want it to do is produce the full path. Oh, wait, is that true? Yes, it is true because what I want, right, so I want this function here, Polygon, works on a list of points. Like, it doesn't matter what the points are for this example, and it produces a hiccup structure that can be right away compiled into an XML tag. So I want Polygon Path to produce a hiccup component, and so it's not done yet. I need to convert this this sequence, in this case it's a vector. I need to take it and run commands to path string, right? And then I need to run path on that. There we go. So maybe I should convert this to a thread macro after all, just for readability purposes. Let's see if I can pull it off. Okay. Maybe thread as. How does Clojure thread as? There's got to be a way to make this readable in the way I want. Okay, let's see here. Thread last as thread. Okay. I don't understand. Oh, okay. So it's as, then the data structure. So in this case, it'll be points, right? Actually, let's just do rest points as thread P. Yeah. Is that a valid symbol on its own? I think it might be. Let, if I did a let statement, fine there. Let this be then return to me that. Oh, it is. So this is, I don't know if that's necessary. It just looks cool. It's just fun to use strange looking symbols sometimes. Little diamond here instead of any symbol, but let's do P because that just is what I'm gonna use. Okay, so let's build this properly here. So I have rest P. I want to map point to L over P. I mean, yeah, no, that's fine. Then conj onto P. Open. Then vec P. Then conj P close. Let's just check that that's actually still gonna work the way I think it will, because I've been known to mess things up. That looks good. Okay, so using that logic now, I can complete this, which I just have to call two more things on it. So it's right, you just run here. Commands, oops, commands to path string, and then you just run that. Ooh, I do have to specify that you run it on P though. Then here you run Polygon Path on P. Let's try that. Let's run it. Ooh. Oh, this is wrong. This should just be path P, not Polygon Path. That's just confusing. Hey, look at that. Okay, that works, and I'm happy with that. I'm looking at this here, and every one of these is in the first argument position except for this. So what I might do is change this ever so slightly. So let's combine, let's do rest points is the first argument to a thread first macro, and just get rid of the P in all of these. So that, I don't know, is just a little bit cleaner, I guess. Not much, but that should work. Let's try. Let's just make sure. Yeah, there we go. All right, so that's that. And this old Polygon Path, I'm sure, can just be blasted away. Yeah, I kind of made a Yeah, I'm gonna blast this out of here. I don't need it. It's gonna confuse me. This is much more simplistic. And it's a good start. So what's incomplete is I haven't done the same implementation for polyline. The only difference is going to be there's actually, you just don't conj the close onto the end of it. Everything else is equivalent. So it's kind of pretty trivial. But I'll leave it alone for the time being because I do think there's probably a slightly smarter way to kind of work polylines and polygons together into a more usable thing. So for example, if you say you want to def a list of points, you could pass that into a more generic function, and then you have the option of close path or open path. I don't know yet what I want to achieve with that, but the concept of close and open paths might be more important than polygon and polyline specifically. But I haven't thought that through, so I'm just going to leave it with polygon because for the time being anyway, I'm only really using polygons a lot of the time, and it's a good simple test case, and I can expand from there. So let's do test path is just going to be, well, you know, let's do Polygon Path. It is what it is, right? Yeah. And we'll just, should I make, let's make it 4 points instead of 3. And start at 0, 0. Let's go to 10, 20. And we'll go 40, 50. 20, 10. I don't know why. It's I think that's a rhombus or I don't think it's a parallelogram, but none of that's important. Doesn't matter. That's just a good test path to have there. And I will be right back. I shouldn't be too long, but I gotta go for a minute. All right. Let's keep going. All right. Path. Test polygon will be the same here. Perfect. And then polyline can even be the same. Polyline. Oop. Test rectangle is a rectangle of size 6025 for no reason. Test text. I'm gonna skip it. Test image will be image philmurray.com/300/200, I think. Ooh, and the width and height. I don't know if this is going to be correct. Phil Murray. Sure. Let's just go with that one. I was close, but not complete. Okay. And I have these inverted. 200 by 300. Okay. Let's go with that. It's beautiful. All right. Oh, and a group. A group should maybe just be all of these in one. Maybe just do that because it's easy. Test group is group. Let's make this just a little. There we go. Line, path, oop, polygon, polyline, rectangle, image. Okay, that should work, I think. Okay, so these are just reference, so it's gone. Okay, now def test. What's the right way to do this now? Basic circle test. I don't know. Is test circle. Just do I just do equal circle and then Let's see here. Circle. Right, so I believe the default CX is 0, CY is 0, and radius is 5. I think that's right. Let's see. Let's see what's up. Let's do the test/run tests. Cool. Okay, so that ran that test and it worked. That is looking good. So let's copy that. And let's do all of these in one test here. So we'll do def test basic shapes test. I'm not sure that that is stylistically correct, but I'm just going to roll with it for the time being because it's easy. Ellipse. Okay, it has CX, CY, RX, RY, and it has a radius of 5x and 10y. So that's ellipse. Let's go line now. Test line. Oop. This should change. Ellipse. Circle, ellipse, line has a x1, y1, x2, y2, right? Let's double check that here. Line x1, y1, x2, y2. Stroke that's another thing I'm not going to worry about right now. Additional attributes come in when you run the style function over a shape of some kind, an element I should say. So to test that, you would have to put in a known shape without styles or with some existing styles. You run style with a specific tag that you want to check. Then the output, you just check that it contains what it had. So that the stroke here is irrelevant for this particular test. Instead, I have to change this to 1020. Excuse me, I am tired today. Let's test this path. So this one's a little different here. Let's do path. It's only going to have one property, D, but it has a specific form of string here. So it's going to be move 0, 0. L1020, like that. L4050. L2010 Z at the end because it's closed. I think that's right. If this errors out, it's actually going to be, I'm pretty sure, just because I forget how I formatted the string. It might have a space here. I'll find out soon. Polygon just has a thing called points, and it also has a string, but this string is a little different. It's comma separated, space separated, kind of like this. If I remember, it's 0, 0. Actually, I forget now. since it's in a polygon tag, I think that just means it implicitly, like, it closes itself without having to specify anything. Pretty sure. Yeah, so it x comma y space x comma y space blah 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 blah. Yeah, that's easy enough. Okay. 10, 20, 40, 50, 20, 10. And the polyline will equal exactly the same. Oop, come on. Polyline, polyline. Okay. Rectangle. Now this one I forget what it's like. Let's see. It has x. Oh, it has. So I ignore rounded rectangles for this library, at least for now. Yeah, it has optional x and y. Okay, so that means, oh, I remember how I did this. So its map will look a little bit different. It's actually gonna be x is some number, y is some number, width is 60. You know what? Because I'm lazy, let's just do this. Width and height is 30. And some value here, I implicitly, or I move it to center the rectangle around its own midpoint. Excuse me. So this is going to be negative 30 to move it halfway in the width. So I think I also make it float right away, and this will be negative 15. And again, we'll find out soon if I'm actually remembering this correctly, but let's see. There's that. Then test image should have x and y and href. Oh, will it also have width and height? Now I forget. X, y, width, height. Yep. Okay, so this x and y, I actually might want to change this behavior, but they will start out at 0, 0, or I don't put them in at all. I don't remember. Again, we will find out soon. 200 is the width, and the height is 300. And there's one other important element to this, href, which will be, in this case, I am going to copy this because it will, or it should be exactly the same. And we will find out if it's not. This is a little weird formatting wise. Let's do that. Okay, and I'll do G after I know that this works, so let's def that there, and we'll run tests. Three failures. Ooh, I like that. Not. Let's see, I might have made this hard to read, so let's see here. Okay, so here I forgot that. So this first one, I said there is only one property. That's not true. There are two. Fill rule, even, odd. And that's just related to how overlapping paths are colored. So you can cut holes with even odd. That's actually important that that's there. Okay, so that I think is fixed. Let's see, the rectangle I got wrong. I don't know. It doesn't immediately pop into my brain what's wrong here. Expected test rectangle equals that. What actually happened is not that. Oh, I didn't redef. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. This has to be redefed, and that should solve this rectangle problem here. That was maybe foolish of me to do it that way. And here something's wrong as well. Oh, forgot to change this. There we go. Well, you know what? That was a bit of a flub. Let's see if that fixed things. Still something wrong with image. Okay. All right, let's have a look now. Actual href width and height. You know what? Let's run test image. Okay, so it does not. Yeah, so I thought this was in here, but that is not true by default. Should it be? I don't know. I don't think it. Actually, it should, and it should be half the width and height to follow the same logic as the rectangle. So I should probably address that to be that way, right? So what I want is this to have actually, is this the case that, so if I do A1, B2, and then here I do B1, no, B2, A1, does that count as equal? It does. Okay, so that's good. The order of keys doesn't matter, which makes sense because definitionally that's true in a map. So the equality check should not require the order to be the same because it shouldn't matter. Let me see. So what I want here is the x and y values to be half of the negative half. So this will be negative 100, and this will be negative 150, like that. Okay, so let's run that. That will fail. So there's only one failure, that's the image. Now let's go make the function that returns the image work the way I now declared in the test, and that's easy enough to do. So if I go to shapes, zip on down to image, I can just copy this part of so I already have width and height. Let's just add from the rectangle the exact same logic here, right? So x is just half the width, y is half the height in the negative direction so that it pops them to the center. All right, let's do that and run the tests again. And I think, oh, not quite. All right, what did I do wrong here? Oh, again, I'm being a little silly. I do have to re-eval this. Now run tests. There we go. 0 failures. So I see why it is smart to have all your tests defed in a different namespace, I think. So what's going on here is in my source code, I removed another test, but since it's still here see here, basic circle test is still in the REPL. It runs 2 tests, even though I only have 1 in my source code. So that's not that clean, really. So can I redef something? I wonder what happens now. Okay, there is 1 test only. That's not exactly a good idea. Clojure, unbind, symbol. I forget how to do this all the time. Not quite helpful for me at the moment. Whatever. It's not important enough to worry about right now. Okay. Let's now do def test basic translate test. So if I translate let's just start with this like this. I want to make sure that the thread last of test circle through translate 1010 equals circle the radius of 5, but now cx is going to be 10 and cy is going to be 10. I think that's correct. Let's did I close that properly? Let's try that. Let's run that. I think it might fail, but we'll see. I also put the transform rotate 1010 in there. Oh, that's right, because I need that kind of makes sense. transform, rotate 0, 10, 10, like that. Ooh, no commas. So this, I don't know if I want to keep that behavior. It kind of tracks the center point in two ways. It has the rotate X and Y values coded in there along with the CX, CY positions. I don't know that I even need this or if that's a smart thing to do, but this should pass now at least. I suppose not, eh? Oh. No. I don't understand. Let's see. I don't see what I'm missing here. Oh, here. I failed to put this in a map. There. That is true that was wrong. Oops. There we go. Oof. Okay. Let's do ellipse. Should have the same thing. Only difference is Rx is 5, Ry is 10. Okay, let's try that. There we go. Okay, I am a little bored. This is not exciting, unfortunately, but that's okay. It is kind of necessary, so here I am, working on it anyway. Okay, there's ellipse. Let's do line. Line is kind of cooler, actually. It should be. If I translate it 10-10, line is going to have I wonder if I put the rotate thing in there, but before I work on that, the basic line is 0, 0, so that'll actually now be 10-10, and x2, oops, y2 will not be 10-10, it'll be 10 plus 10 is 20, and y2 is 20 plus 10 is 30. And the rotate, if that is correct, will be There we go. Let's see if that's right. It is not, because of what? So here I did not put the rotate thing in there. I'm gonna put a little note to myself here and say something to the effect of to do for circle and ellipse, try to remove the transform rotate 0 x y idea. Seems confusing and unnecessary. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I don't need it to exist because I already have a way to calculate centroids for every shape without requiring that that it saves the centroid anyway. So I'm pretty sure I can just get rid of it entirely, but I have to think about that. The only thing that might not be true is when I do the rotate transform, I might need it to have the local coordinate in there. So I might need to rework it, but I'm pretty sure I can make it a little cleaner. Okay. So line does not have this here. It just has these. Let's go try that one. There you go. All right, now the next one, path. Well, this one's going to be fun. Test path. I'm actually going to just do this. Path has a different structure here. It's going to be M10, 10, 20, 30, 50, 60, 30, 20. That should work. Let's see if it does. It does. Love to see it. This one is test polygon. Polygon. Polygon points and no fill rule on polygon. Okay. And here we have the same points, but they're just written differently. I think that should work, yeah. No Z. That's polygon, and let's do polyline right away. Oh, test polyline. Okay, polygon, polyline, rectangle and image we'll do in a second. Let's just run this again to make sure we're on track. Looks good. Here, rectangle. Start with this. How about that? Okay. There we go. Test rectangle with translate 1010. Very straightforward again. Everything here, just you add 10 to the coordinates and it should be good. Except width and height should stay the same. So all I should see here is this goes up and that goes up. That should work. And then image, actually let's start with this. Now do this. Oops. Image has all this gunk in it. Okay. All right. test image. The href should be unchanged. X and Y should move. You should just add 10 to those and be good. Let's see if that works. Ooh, 2 failures. Okay. Rectangle is off. Width 60, height 30. Looks good. X and Y looks good. Oh. Right, I forgot the rotate thing here. But actually now that I'm looking at that, it doesn't even change it, right? Now I've confused myself a bit here. Okay, so this here. Oh, I must have. Okay, so that means here I actually do add transform rotate 0 10 10. Yeah? Let's try that. Okay, 1 failure. Okay. That rotate thing shows up in there as well. Okay. Good to know. Good to change. Transform rotate 10 10. Okay. Now I'm gonna be right back again. Okay, I'm gonna keep at it. Now for let's see, test shapes. It's just, I'm gonna just list these. I'm gonna make a list or vector of those. All these up here. Circle, ellipse, line, path, polygon, polyline, rectangle, image, and G I'll handle later. So the reason I'm doing this is because I'm pretty sure my rotate implementation is going to fail on a few of these, and I have to kind of sort those out. So I'll do this is polygon there, polyline, rectangle, and image, test shapes. So if I do map rotate 30 degrees over test shapes, if it all worked, it would give me a list of hiccup elements with some rotations tweaked in there. So here we have an issue already. Perfect. So what is going on? Let me see. Let's run it on literally just one item. Okay, circle works. Let's now do circle and ellipse. Those work. Circle, ellipse, and line. That seems to work. Let's skip path because I think that's the one that's going to cause problems. Polygon works. Polyline also works. Rectangle, this might fail. Rectangle works. Image might fail. Image even works. Cool, cool, cool. All right, that does mean the only thing that doesn't work is the path. There we are. So let's figure out what's going on with the path element, right? So if I do test path, I have a valid path. Wow, how shocking. If I go rotate element, I do need to give it, there we go. Okay, so rotate element of the test path fails. So we can head over to that section of the code and try to sort out what I've done wrong. And that should be good and fun. I don't need it there. What I need is to go here, rotate element path. Okay. So here's an eval, the wrong number of args passed. Excuse me. I am more tired than I anticipated, but I want to see if I can untangle what I've done a little bit here. I wonder if it's even, let's have a look at, let's call centroid on test path. What I would like is it to return a number, and it does. So it's not the centroid that's not working. Let's try, if I run commands, commands on path string to commands of D from, let's do get in. We've got 1D test path, right? Oh, I don't need to do that. Get in 1D test path. Huh? I'm confused about that. Get from test path 1. Yeah. Get in. Oh wait, did I do this wrong? Get in map keys. Oh, I flipped it. Get in test path 1D. There we go. Okay. So let's do path string, oops. Path string 2 commands of this thing here. Okay, that gets me the command list. Now this might be where things are going wrong. I'm not sure. Let's see. Let's try to run that. Right, so let me do let's redef B as this bit here. Ooh, whoop. I forgot to do that. Okay, so B is now this list of commands. So what I want to do is check this bit of logic here. So map, the function, come on. There we go. Rotate path command about the centroid of test path. Right, is that the, yeah, so I have center in degrees. And then let's rotate it 30 degrees. Right, and then you want to rotate the command there, B. Okay, so this is where things are going wrong. So let's take first of B. Okay, it's just one command, and let's do rotate path command first of B. Oh, I have to do let's rotate it about it. I have to provide the centroid of test shape. That's not too hard to do, and I want to rotate it 30 degrees. Okay, so it doesn't, this doesn't work. Wait, what? I thought, oh, test shape is not test path. Okay, here we are with something going wrong. Let's see. I have a note about this. I think this is what's going wrong. I think I'm not breaking down the dispatch properly here. And then it's just not properly passing into the rest of this. I think that's what's happening. And I have a note here. I have to redefine this with this. Namespace unmap namespace, the symbol rotate path command. Okay. Now I have to go back here and just redef all these. And now I wonder if it'll work. We'll find out soon enough. Oh, before I do that, let's use NSUnmap to unmap basic circle test. There we go. All right, let's see if that's gonna fix my problem. Hey, there we go. All right, now, let's try. Where was I here? Let's try this. Once again, let's give it a shot. All I need to do is this thing. No, that's the wrong. I want to do map rotate, basically. Where was I here? Here. They all rotated. Okay, that's exciting. So now, just out of sheer curiosity, I want to run this little bit of code, which I'm using here to draw this thing. Oh, right. So now this image, I need to translate it, and translate of the image should actually work now. I need to translate it 300, 300, and let's just run it. Ooh, perfect. Okay. That is great news. The translate for images is working. I am very interested to see if this will work. I don't know if it will. We'll try rotate the whole thing. Let's do an obvious rotation. Ooh, didn't fail. Yes. Sweet. Okay, so that image is rotating. Let me do... so I haven't tested groups yet. Those might still be a little bit of an issue, but before I worry about it, let's try to rotate it anyway. How about that, huh? Oh, you know what? Before we translate, let's do the rotate first. The order shouldn't matter, but let's give it a shot. 26. Okay. Ooh. Not quite, eh? So, what's happening here? Let's have a look at what ring spits out anyway. It's gonna be it's a bunch of circles in a group element. That's good. So why, I wonder, is it not? Oops. So there's something wrong with destructuring, I guess, of the group element. Oh, see this? Something's going a little weird here. Trying to run the element on a double. Okay, so something's going wrong here. Clearly. And what is it? All right, let's have a little peek. All right. Actually, I should check. Okay, so translate's working. Let's do centroid of ring. Okay, that is working as well. Let's do bounds of ring. Is that working? That is. Okay, so the only one that isn't is rotate. Why would that be? Pain in the butt. Well, first of all, where is the element? Oh, wait a second. Maybe. Let's try. Okay, so let's do rotate element of the ring. Okay, so it still breaks here. So this should still work, right? So if I do centroid of bounds of ring, something's going wrong here, right? So if I do bounds of ring, okay, what I want here is centroid of points, right? Not, there it is. Centroid of points. All right, let's see if this is fixed. That would be amazing. I would be so happy with myself. Let's give it a shot. Fixed it. Love to see it. All right, now with that, let's just do a little sanity check here. I want to see if I rotate a group, if it is still behaving the way I intend, where the group is a static thing and it shifts things properly, or if it just totally jumbles things up, which it used to. It was a problem I was having before. I don't think I changed any of that logic, so it should work just fine, but I have to check. All right, so where am I here? Got ring rotating 26 degrees there. Let's see. Okay, that seemed to work this time. Couldn't really tell. It's hard to see, so let's give this. All right, you know what? Let's get this image out of here for the time being. Okay. I think, you know what? Let's just do this. Let's just pare it down to one circle only. Okay. So rotate 0. If I rotate it 10, that circle should kind of shift around. Ooh, we're running into issues. It would appear that we have a problem. Well, let's simplify this then. Let's do is a group of a few. No, let's do let's just do, yeah, it's going to be 2 boxes. The first box is just going to be rectangle of 100, 100. The second one is going to be rectangle 50, 50, but it's going to be translated something. So let's translate it 75 and 10 just to offset it a bit. So that's boxes. Let's do this here. Let's get this out of here for now, and we'll get rid of ring 2. We'll do boxes there, and let's put this back to normal so that I'm not confused in the future, or less confused. I'm always confused. Okay, so that's the boxes element. The color doesn't matter because all I'm checking is rotation. And what I want to see is this rotate as a unit. And what I think is happening is not that. It looked okay, actually. Let's do, let's rotate 30. How about that? Did that go? There. Okay, it looks like it's working. All right, so what did I do? I must have missed something. I mean, yeah, it is working, right? I'm not missing something obvious, am I? 45 degrees. Let's rotate it 90. Oop. Yeah. 270 even? 270? I mean, it all seems to be working. So let's do 32 and a half. Okay, it's an obviously strange rotation. Well, it's obvious that it has rotated, I guess is the right way to say that. I can even do, let's do this. Let's just move the box around. Cool. Okay, that makes sense, right? It's working the way I thought it would. All right, let's have a look at this ring here and see what we can find out. Because I think it's not rotating, and that might be just because my brain's not thinking about it properly. I don't know. Let's do ring. Oh, right. Now I can't tell. Okay, so let's just render the first ring. Okay, so what is happening here? The first ring is translated to some point, but it is not rotated, but it is in a group, right? Why wouldn't oh, I think I might understand what's happening here. I might need let's do this is at 90 degrees. I think I know the center of gravity of this thing, the centroid of the group, is currently, since it's only one circle, is exactly here. So it'll just rotate a circle and it won't look different at all. I think that's what's happening. Yes, so here, okay, so this is interesting. Let's put this back to 0. Yeah, so now the centroid of these two things is going to be right here. So if I rotate it 10 degrees, refresh this, it looks like it's pivoted around here. So that actually does make sense. Let's do this. Let me rotate 0. So this should be even. Oh, this is going to be so hard to see it. What do I have to focus in on something. All I'm trying to do is like rotate the whole thing by, let's say, 2 degrees. I don't know. It is so hard to see it. Well, let's do this. Okay. So this circle, you know what? Let's draw another circle, and we'll draw a nice hot pink circle, and it is gonna be of radius 7. There it is. Ooh, that's too big. Let's make it just a bit smaller, but 4. No, 3. No, 4 is good. 4 is perfect. Okay, so it's at the center point, like the same center point that everything else is at. I'm gonna just shift it by 50. Okay. That looks great. Perfect. Now, using that as a reference, I should be able to add a bit of rotation to this and see if it actually moves. Yes. Okay, there we go. So it does move. It's just hard to tell. Okay, so actually, I am extremely happy with this progress. Things seem to be working okay. Now I just realized I have this scratch thing here, and I don't really want it to be. Oh, wait a second. I can kind of just. This should be fine. Okay, so let's move this out of the current folder into downloads. So that file is no longer visible at the moment. Oh, I'm hopping all over the place right now because I'm almost ready to go. I have only 10 minutes anyway, and I've solved the big issue I was having the other day. Things are working quite well for me right now, which is extremely happy. All I'm doing is messing around, cleaning up the folder so that I can push this change up to GitHub and start getting things geared up for even more good effort. Oh man, I'm in a good mood about this. I'm happy. So these misc notes and scratch things, they're not being tangled into source. So I don't actually mind committing it to GitHub. It's not going to really mess anything up all that much. Actually, I should probably take the scratch out of there. Put it in a proper place for dev work. You know what? Before I do that, let me use the scratch just to try render the the Phil Murray picture. I wonder if it's actually going to work with the remote URL. I think it should, but it might not. So let's find out. Thread last. Let's just take test image, good old Bill Murray, and we'll translate that right to the middle. All right, let's give that a go. It does work. Love it. Love it. And rotate for that should work as well, right? Rotate 45. Yes. Okay. Sweet. So just briefly, I want to note that this is not a this is not an HTML image tag. This is an image, full word spelled out, not IMG, IMAGE, inside SVG itself. It's a valid SVG item. You can apply normal SVG transformations onto it. I'm just glad that it works as kind of pretty much just like a rectangle with just a special kind of fill in it. It's just really cool. Can I do bounds of test image? I think test image should work. Centroid of the test image. That works too. Man, that's really cool. Okay, well, that's good for that. Let's now make a new folder. Design. Let's make a new one. Okay. I have here oh shoot, what's the I forget what I called my skeleton. This I'm off the rails a little bit here. I'm leaving in about 4 minutes, so I don't have a ton of time here, but let me just try to get the ball rolling the way I want it to. You know what? Do I know what? I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay. Wait. Config.org. Templates, please. Control Shift P. There we go. Queen QF. The queen's floor. This doesn't make any sense. That's fine because it's a quilt related design project where I want to template out a pattern based on an image that was sent to me. Happens to be the floor tiling of, I think, the British Queen's Great Hall or something like that. So anyway, unimportant where it's from. Yeah, let's kill that anyway. I just want to make sure this oh wait, let's do, let's make that its own thing. This gets saved into an appropriate spot. There, save that, just create it. All right, I forgot I need to do this. There we go. Okay, that should work. Leave that there for now. This should pop inside admin. There we go. Okay. You know what? Let's tangle these after all into source. Oh. cd test list svg_clj. Wait a second. Test. Yeah. This. Boom. Just starting with some basics. More complete tests coming soon. Okay. Let's just check that that actually tangled in there. Yes, it did. Perfect. Okay. Test/run all tests. Huh, cool. Did it actually test my... Oh boy. Okay, it did test SVG main. Oh wait, that might not be what I'm expecting. Okay, no, it looks good, I think. Oh, except I see. I'll have to figure out proper. So I don't think it's running the tests from the test namespace. I think it's because I've got the REPL has some tests in it. I think it's just running those. So I have to fix that, but that's okay. I can handle that later. All right, gotta get going. This looks ridiculous. Let's go out here and let's remove out.html. This I can close now. Get status. Modified main test and the org file. That makes sense to me. Git add all of that. Git commit it. The basics all seem to be working. Also added image shape. Let's see what happens. You know what? Let's call it good. Git push. All right, that's going to be it for me for the day. If anyone has tuned in live, thanks for that. If anyone is tuned in after the fact, thanks for that too. Share this around. Show people who like Clojure, who like Lisps, who like programming, who might like my style, casual approach to things, you know. Stay tuned. I've got videos going up on my YouTube channel. I'm going to be growing that and growing this. So if you want to be part of helping that out, please consider like, comment, subscribe, follow. You know the drill with all that kind of stuff. Any little bit is helpful. I do appreciate it. But that's enough from me for the day. I hope you have a good one, and I will be back again soon. That's all I've got to say.